Go ahead and begin. To easily try to remember the difference between a qualitative and a quantitative study, you want to think text versus number, or interpretivist versus positivist. I have had students say, well, it doesn't look like there's any study results because I don't see any tables or charts or so forth, or graphs in those statistics. My first question is the study a quantitative study or is it a qualitative study? Now, qualitative studies do have charts and can occasionally have figures depending upon the themes that emerge and the way you want to express visually the results of your study. But typically you think of the two as qualitative text and quantitative number. All right, now the words validity, reliability, we just spoke about them, but I want to add another word in there, and that's triangulation. So when you're thinking those three words, what they are trying to do is establish the ontology or truthfulness of the data. All right. If you collect data with unreliable instruments or protocol, then the validity and reliability will be questionable. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether the study is qualitative or quantitative. You have to think about the way you're collecting the data. So if you're using language that your participants might not understand or know, then you need to either accommodate the way in which you ask that question or give them some information ahead of time. Okay, the meanings of texts, encoding textual data. We'll talk in session 4 about that. And I also have a narrated PowerPoint that gives you some insights on ways to code qualitative data so that you can consider examining the themes that are emerging. Some of your studies that the blossoming of some of these studies, I can see some really excellent qualitative designs that will generate really important data. So you want to make sure that you download some of that coding information for qualitative work. All right, the meanings of numbers. All numbers are not equal. Ordinal means that the number is ranking or holding a position. If it's cardinal, thanks, Rebecca. I'm glad you're back. We tried to hang on for a little bit. We're still on this same slide. Cardinal is interval or rating. Okay, these are measurable in quantity. So in other words, one unit, if you make 2 units, it's 2 units that would equal 1 of each unit, right? Nominal means it's categorical. So some of you I noticed are going to be using interval scales such as Likert scales or Thurston scales. They can be converted to ordinal or nominal scales, but ordinal or nominal scales cannot be converted to ordinal scales. Okay, descriptive statistics. More on this later tonight. We talk about descriptive statistics, and we'll talk a little bit about how inferential statistics can be helpful if you're doing quantitative work. Remember that inferential statistics are what you will need to be able to do to test for a p-value, which that's using that benchmark that you've placed as your alpha or confidence level or your level of significance. Okay, and that's one of the reasons those of you who are doing quantitative studies, if you place that hypothesis in a null for this project, you'll have a cut and dried way in which to make that comparison because you are stating effectively that there is no significant difference or no significant correlation, and you're going to be testing against that. Okay.